Now, a little bit of history when it comes to video games for me is that back in the day, back in the 70s, I remember, oh, sorry, I hit the wrong button. I remember the Pong. I remember Pong. Now, I don't remember if it was the Pong from Atari or if it was the Pong from ColecoVision Telstar, I think it was, because I sort of remember there being a mode where you could play hockey, and there was a mode where you could play like handball up against the wall by yourself, and I believe that that was the Telstar version of Pong from Coleco. But I do remember my uncle and my dad playing Pong on the screen, and it was the first time I ever heard that, the iconic boop, boop, boop. So that was that was a long, long time ago. And then after that, hitting the '80s was in the '80s it was what the iconic Atari 2600, and with that you had the controller stick with the red fire button. What movie was big back then? So War Games was big. President Reagan was all, it freaked him out, the whole War Games, the idea of a computer program taking over and, being able to take over the launch codes and all that. There's another movie from the 70s called Colossal, I think. Colossal, something like that. And that was about that too, before predating War Games. And then there's another War Games type movie out there that's newer, and I think it was called Warhawk, or I keep hitting that button. It was called Warhawk or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, so in the 80s, the 2600, I remember playing Defender, which was my favorite game was Defender, as far as that was concerned. There was a whole bunch of other games like Space Invaders and Galaga and all that other stuff that came later. But yeah, Defender was my jam as far as the 2600. Then after that came the dark ages of video games for me, because I did play the Intellivision and I did play the ColecoVision and a couple other ones, but then I kind of fell off from that part because I was more into, say, the quarter games when you went into the arcade to play your games. And what I'm talking about is you're cutting your grass, you're raking those leaves, you're washing cars, you're shoveling snow, you're taking all that billfold, you're throwing it in your pocket, you're running down to the nearest arcade on your BMX, and you're driving down there or riding down there, and you dump all that money, you turn it into quarters, and you dump all that money into arcade machines. And I used to do that all the time. Dig Dug was my jam. Now, there's a game out there that was made in Godot called Dome Keeper, and it has a digging aspect to it. There's a couple other games that have a digging aspect to it. And I am that dude. I am the guy I'm your customer, okay? I'm the one that you're looking for, the one that really likes the digging part of video games. I love that, and that's because I love Dig Dug. Now, after that, I actually never played Nintendo, and I never played Sonic. I never played Mario. Now, I knew about Sonic, and I know about Mario. Of course, everybody did. I remember the movies and all like that, and I even went to go see the movies, but I never actually played Mario. Now, the thing is that I know Mario is an icon and all that, and it's all good. But I never found Mario to be interesting to me. It's like it was a game that I never really I saw people playing it, and it was like, okay, yeah, whatever. It just really wasn't my jam. Sonic later on, I did end up playing Sonic because we have a little Sega in the house that we bought. It has all the different games that are inside of there. So I ended up playing Sega and Sonic later. And I like the Sonic movies. I love the Sonic movies, actually. It was really well done. But I never played those. And I never had a Nintendo, basically because of price. Now, I remember later on, I ended up going to a friend's house, And while I was at that friend's house, they were playing a PS1, which was the first time I ever saw a PS1. Now, with the PS1, I thought to myself, oh, you know what? I think I might get this. It looked really nice. I can't remember what game he was playing, but it looked really nice. And I was older and I had some money in my pocket. I said, I'm going to go ahead and buy myself a used PlayStation 1, which I did. Now, when I did that, I ended up getting 3 games with it. And those 3 games, the first one was Final Fantasy VII. And I absolutely hated that game. I did not like that game at all. I loaded it up. It was on the screen. I'm ready for some action. And what do I get? I get a novel. It was a whole paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs of text on there. And I'm like, I did not pay all this money for this game system so I could read a book on my TV screen. This is crazy. I took it out of there and I never played it again. Now that I'm older and I'm actually, I like books and stuff. I like science fiction books. I'm getting ready to start writing some science fiction myself. I have wrote some stuff, but I plan on starting to write more seriously soon, which is connected to my game deving. But now that I'm into that, I think I'm going to actually give that genre a try. There are a bunch of games that are on Godot that have that whole Final Fantasy feel, and that's a genre of game that I've never gotten into. So that's something brand new that I can do for myself and play a whole different genre of game. So that's really exciting. I'm going to do that. Now, the other 2 games, I'm not going to tell you what those 2 games are. I'll tell you what they are later on. But yeah, those games, those other 2 games I fell in love with. And there's a reason why I'm going to tell you about later on, because there's some swag that I have, and you guys will know, what those other 2 games were. So I am going to go ahead and keep playing my War Robots. And again, I wanted just to show you guys that whole thing inside of Steam and to sit here and talk a little bit. And I hope that you guys liked it. I hope that you guys didn't mind just hanging out with me and playing some games and whatnot. And I probably will be doing more video. No, that's not even probably. I absolutely will be doing it, because you know what I like about this particular format is that it's just relaxing and I'm just, talking off my heart, and I'm not worried about trying to be, fancy or doing anything like that. Just being me.